Tony Khan comes under a lot of pressure for making a lot of dumb decisions, but now he is coming under pressure for making a different kind of decision and for having Nyla Rose wrestle against women in the state of good old Oklahoma. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. First off, I've just got to say here, I actually think Tony Khan deserves to be cut some slack here. He has been warned by the state of Oklahoma under OSAC rules, that stands for something, Oklahoma rules, that he cannot allow Nyla Rose to wrestle against women in AEW because she is obviously transgender. Now, I can understand it when it comes to real sports, actual physical sports where you're competing against each other and you're using your strength and you might be trying to hurt your opponent like in boxing or like in MMA. But I mean, we need to actually realise that wrestling is pretty much a soap opera. It is acting at the end of the day. Yes, it's physical. But the goal has never been to hurt your opponent. The goal is to work with your opponent, put on the best match possible while protecting each other and while putting each other's health in risk at the least amount of risk possible. So I think this is a bit strange here. I mean, does this mean we're never allowed any intergender matches? Like back in the day, we've seen intergender matches, so like, I don't understand what is happening here. If Tony Khan allowed an intergender match on TV, would he get criticised if it was in the state of Oklahoma? It feels very strange to me.
I think what it is Oklahoma, one of those, right states, so to speak. I think that they don't like men pretending to be women, getting involved in women's sports.
But look, see if this was a boxing match and Nyla Rose is legitimately punching women. Yes. I totally understand that.
Yeah, but I don't think the state of Oklahoma gives two flying monkeys about Stone Cold Steve Austin hitting Lita with a chair shot. I think it's the fact that you've got a man masquerading himself as a woman. Right? Yeah, wrestling's fake. Absolutely it is. But I think they're trying to make sure there's no loopholes. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it because, I mean, at the end of the day, wrestling's fake.
You can't say it's fake, it's predetermined. Alright, but listen, see, like, I know it's changed now, but growing up, not that we grew up being professional wrestlers, we never laced the gloves, we never put on the boots, but, like, it's common knowledge that, like, in previous eras, there wasn't that many women trying to be wrestlers, and even to this day there's still a lot more males trying to be wrestlers than females, so therefore women that were trying to break into the wrestling business, when they would be working indie shows, when they would be wrestling in front of 10 people, a lot of the time they would be having intergender matches for the pure reason as there wasn't that many women around, and sometimes the only person that they could wrestle against would be a guy. And I'm sure that Oklahoma probably has independent wrestling schools. Does that mean that if you're a female and there's no other females trying to trial out for wrestling or train in wrestling, then what, you have to do a Ric Flair and wrestle a broom? Surely not.
Yeah, but I think it's more the fact that this is a transgender.
So you don't think it's the male and female violence, you just think it's the fact that she's transgender?
Yes.
Interesting. So I just don't think it's really fair here attacking Tony Khan for this. Like, there's a lot of things that we will attack Tony Khan for, but I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, a fake wrestling match with a man pretending to be a woman. I
think it's just the concept of like transgenders.
What if it was Santina Marella with the
yeah, but that's comedy.
Is that a piss take, so they're okay with that?
But I don't know. I'm not on the board of governors at Oklahoma.
Look, I mean, maybe if Nyla Rose has a match with... I mean, I get it. Look, they could be worried about Nyla Rose possibly wrestling Rio or something like that. And I mean, I think there's a very good chance that there could be an injury in that match.
Yep.
So, like, maybe they just don't want to risk the potential, backlash or potential injury. But I don't really. I'm not going to attack or criticise Tony Khan for this at the end of the day because, I mean, like you said, I mean, Lita got smashed with a chair for 10 times for Austin, and we all thought that was great. So it is what it is. But during a media call to promote 2024 Dynasty pay-per-view, AEW president Tony Khan was asked about the situation, and he responded. And it's a bit of a lengthy situation. It's a bit of a lengthy response. Sorry, so bear with me. He says, quote, I would like to talk about the story with the Oklahoma State Athletic Commission and the warning they issued against AEW when we featured Nyla Rose on the show last December. I was really surprised by this. It's not something I was expecting. And of course I was disappointed by the Commission's position and by that warning. I don't think we did anything wrong. I'm really shocked by it. I don't think there should be discrimination against transgender wrestlers or transgender people at all. They have rights. To that end, I absolutely stand by Nyla Rose. AEW stands by Nyla Rose and all the transgender people who want to play sports. This is wrestling. There was nothing wrong with it. Nyla Rose is a great wrestler and has been a great world champion. I love Nyla, working with Nyla. She has been a great part of our history. She was the first transgender women's champion ever, and she is a big part of AEW Together program. She does a ton for the community. She is a great person with a great heart. She is very supportive of other wrestlers and one of the funniest people on social media. I personally have nominated Nyla to TBS for the best social media presence on more than one occasion over the years. She is an AEW original and has been part of the team since 2019. Going back to the first shows, looking at everything Nyla has accomplished, to put that label on her, it's not right. She is much more than that. She's a great athlete. I hope everybody can look at Nyla, and she is a great wrestler, a great person, and deserves the same chances as everyone else. If the AEW locker room, which consists of people from all over the world and all different backgrounds and beliefs, if everybody in the locker room can embrace Nyla, I would hope the Oklahoma Commission can do the same thing. End of quote. And then Tony Khan was asked if AEW will continue to run shows in the state of Oklahoma, and Tony Khan says, quote, all I can say is, we have a great plan for our shows in 2024 and 2025. We have a great new team and take all of this into consideration. I treat it as a developing story. I'm kind of surprised by this, but we definitely want to do our best to support the fans across America and all over the world and bring AEW wrestling everywhere we have great fans. We have great fans in Oklahoma. They are important to us. We'll do anything we can to support those fans. It's something we're going to have to think about. End of quote. So, I mean, I think Tony Khan probably handled that as well as he possibly could. I mean, he threw in a bit too many greats for my liking. I mean, great this, great that. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's that much wrong with it. Jesus Christ, it is wrestling. I mean, it's not real. Now, Tony Khan says he doesn't think that transgenders should be discriminated against in sports. Well, I don't think women should be discriminated against in sports either, so therefore I 100% do not believe that a transgender woman should be boxing a biological woman in a boxing ring, because that is not fair on the biological woman. But this is wrestling, it's not real. I don't think there's a big issue with it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's not real, but again, I think it just goes back to Oklahoma. They don't want to see a man in a woman's role, potentially. I mean, because maybe there's transgenders out there that could see Nyla Rose and be like, here, I'll never make it as a man because I want to be a woman. And then they'll be like, here, that AEW's women's division's shite. Maybe if I change gender, I can be a big star in that.
I'll tell you what, the women don't really draw the ratings, so maybe there is a chance, a transgender chance in AEW.
Well, but what I would say is, I think there's more chance of you, right, in 2024, getting pushed as a transgendered woman who's a man in the women's division than there is the other way about. Because you look at Nyla Rose, right? She can't fucking work. So see if she stayed a man, she would be an absolute nobody. See the fact that she is transgender, that is the only reason she is somebody. And maybe Oklahoma just want to put an end to that. Or maybe we're thinking too much into it. Maybe Oklahoma just don't like them. And you know what? That's that state's laws. That's their...
I wonder what Jim Ross thinks about the whole thing. Good old JR. Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts down below. I just don't really think it's a big deal. At the end of the day, what do they want Nyla Rose to do? So does she need to wrestle in the men's division or something? Like, I mean, is that what Oklahoma want, or do they just not want her to be featured at all? Where's the solution? If they don't want her wrestling women, then I assume they want her wrestling men.
See, this isn't like an America-wide thing. I mean, how often are they going to be in Oklahoma? You know what I mean? This isn't going to have any sort of effect
Well, I don't. Yeah, it's not like AEW needs Oklahoma. I'm sure they could just avoid Oklahoma.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I wouldn't worry about it. TK.
TK. Anyway, there you go, guys. TK, got to defend him here. Not often we defend him, so don't say that we never stick up for Tony Khan. I personally don't think he's done anything wrong here. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, peace.